Okay, so that's going on. Then you got Edward finds out, and she's puking, she's eating the peanut butter with the chicken, whatever pregnant women do. And he immediately is like, and they bring in whatever, the wise Hispanic woman. Yeah, again, doing the paranormal activity, I just can't believe they're doing this cliche where the Hispanic woman comes in and just looks at it, and of course Bella's like, don't you want to get a doctor or something? And he's just like, no, I trust her ways. I trust her she knows the legends. Get a fucking doctor! Aren't there any vampire doctors in this world you created? So they go... the Hispanic woman goes, just puts her hand on her stomach and just says, the Spanish equivalent of death, and just flees. Okay, so Edward, being the ever supportive Edward, looks at Bella and says, don't worry, we'll get that abomination out of you. The fuck? What? Did he really just say that? We're gonna get this abomination out of you. We're gonna get this thing. He calls it a thing. He keeps calling it it. We're gonna get it out of you. And he looks pissed. He's like, God damn, we're gonna get it out of you. We're gonna take that right out. Blah, blah, blah. Like somehow it's her fault. It takes two, dumbass. I'm sorry. Again, I know you didn't know she could get pregnant when you make whoopee, but you're just as big a part of it. And it's just as big your creation. You fucking idiot. So, okay, so he doesn't even consult her. Like she has a choice in this at all. Okay, we'll get it. Don't worry, it'll be gone. Don't worry, we'll destroy that little demon inside of you. These are words they're using. They're saying demon. They're saying, little monster. They're saying... Okay. Twilight gets this really well-deserved, rap for not being very empowering to women, particularly girls, like teenage girls. Well, yeah, this goes without saying. This is the first time I really felt that this was insulting to men, okay? This is just like a woman who has no idea and just thinks of the worst thing a guy could say when she's pregnant. And here's the thing. I'm sure there's some guys out there too. I'm sure there's some horrible guys that really say this shit. This is supposed to be our main character. This is supposed to be the guy we identify with, that we are on board with. This is the guy that she wants to marry, that all the girls want to marry. Oh, Edward, he's so supportive. He sparkles. And he's saying this horrible, horrible stuff. And he never consults her. He never asks her. And I'm sure the understanding is that, well, first of all, they think that it's going to kill her. That the pregnancy is going to be too much for her to handle, and that it's going to destroy her. And that's the reasoning behind it, I should make clear. But whatever side of the abortion argument you're on, you fucking talk about it, okay? You don't just say, Dad! You really talk about this shit, especially the person that's carrying the fucking thing. And he's just like, no, we're gonna get it out. We're gonna blah, blah, blah. It's gone. It's dead. Just don't even worry about it. It's just, that's it. And she, of course, for once getting a brain cell and saying maybe Edward isn't right about something, says, no, I want to keep it. I want to keep this child. I want to give birth. To which everyone is like, no, you can't. It's gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you. For which every guy in the audience is going, yay, kill the bitch. And Edward is actually saying, if you go through with this pregnancy, I'm not gonna be here. I can't watch it. I can't be around you when you're doing it. What a selfish thing to do. This is the one goddamn time that Bella is actually doing anything resembling a human being, okay? She was the real monster in these other movies, okay? The vampire and the werewolves, no. She was the creature from the Black Lagoon that sucked everybody's blood. And And of course, the one time she wants to do something out of love, like legitimate love and responsibility, something even sacrificing her life and stuff like that, everybody's telling her that she's fucking nuts. Especially Edward. Especially the guy that all the girls are supposed to have the hots for. The guy that they're supposed to get, you know... And I'm sure the saying that, well, he didn't know any better. He was just emotional and stuff like that. Fuck that shit. That is a horrible person. Okay, especially this young and doing this stuff, and Twilight thinks it has the ability to talk about this stuff, and it doesn't. This is like in the Captain Planet review when they're going to talk about AIDS, and I had a little caption, I had all these warnings, and one of them said, you're not talented enough, you're not as smart as you think. And that was very much this. Do you know your audience, Twilight? Do you have any idea who's reading your shit and who's watching your dumbass movies? It's teenage girls. And here's the thing, with the other movies, yeah, she's a horrible role model and these males don't exist. But it's the fact that any girl that would be, oh, I want to be like Bella, I just want no responsibility and I want men to do everything for me and blah, blah, blah. Most girls go through that phase, and most girls are, reality hits. I mean, it hits them pretty quick. And most of them are too cowardly to go run off, to get married, and to actually be like, well, I'm going to do it because Twilight did it. Most are not, they're stupid enough, but they're not brave enough to do it. So I always thought the stuff from Twilight, because everyone was saying it's totally destroying the fabric of the female mind, the young female mind. I don't think it is. I don't think it's good for it, but I don't think it's like destroying it. I don't think it's any threat at all, because it's the equivalent of like Disney princesses or something. Yeah, I don't like the stereotype, but I mean, it's not destroying anything, I don't think. It's playing to what girls like, and then whatever, responsible parents or society, whatever, tells them, hey, this is a fairy tale. And that's the thing, it's a fairy tale. That's what Twilight really is. It's a horribly written fairy tale, marketed at girls, and it's really successful. But now you're throwing this very adult, very complicated issue in that even today nobody has a clear answer on at all. I mean, people say, I have a clear answer, this is always right, or this is always wrong, stuff like that. We don't. We really don't. And we're still talking about it, and we're still trying to figure it out. You think you have the answers. You think you know what's right. Twilight knows what's right when it comes to abortion. Twilight is going to lecture us on fucking abortion! And like I said, it's the first time, I think, as a male that I felt offended. I felt like you are doing men a disservice, okay? It's the first time I've ever felt that with, like, anything. Because, you know what? As a white male, I won't lie, we've had it pretty good, okay? I'm not going to act like, oh, hey, think about us, the poor white man. It's like, no, history and everything, we've been doing okay, and I'm not going to complain. But this is the one time. I mean, this is where girls are going to watch this. We're going to take this really serious issue, and we're going to say, this is the stuff you're going to go through, and this is how you should act, and this is how the men are going to act, and this is what they're going to do to you, and this is what they're going to tell you, and stuff like that. Fuck you, movie. Fuck you. I am so offended by this film. And the funny thing, the abortion issue is not even, I don't want to say it's like the main focus. It's one of them, but it's not the main focus. The main focus, of course, is the dumbass love triangle, or Jacob, this boy is putting his life on the line. He's abandoning his tribe. He's abandoning his pack. Again, he's being the good guy. He's really, he's really putting shit on the line, and he's making sacrifices for this dumbass girl. And even half the time she's like, oh, I trust you, I say things to you I wouldn't say to Edward. Why didn't you fucking marry him? And see what this movie's doing to me. Oh my god. I haven't gotten this emotional about a film in a long time. I mean, at least not in a negative state. This really is my Transformers 2. Because I didn't like Transformers 2, but it didn't hurt me like it did so many other people. Like, a lot of people got hurt by Transformers 2. It was that bad. This is mine. And I have no idea if I'm alone on this or if people are just going to say I'm over-exaggerating or over-reading it or something like that. I very well could be. But I just felt just disgusting watching this. I just really felt uncomfortable. And let me tell you, I mean, without giving away anything too much with the issue, the abortion issue in this movie, knowing the overtones to a certain religion that, you know, that this movie really likes to play to, or at least thinks it's playing to, you can probably guess where they're going to go with it. And the funny thing is that in another story, if there was talent behind this, this could have been a uniquely touching, beautiful story about a young woman who does not want to give up her child. It may cost her her life, but she made, you know, this commitment, and she wants to risk it. She wants to take the responsibility. It's like, and that would bring up the issues. Well, wait, is that right, or is it right to save the mother? Is it right to save the child, or blah, blah, blah? You can really talk about this. But it's not. It's Twilight. Twi-fucking-light. They don't know what they're talking about. You have to know. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like that guy on theglasses.com, all the people off to do Hamlet. Okay, we don't go there. We know we're not good enough. It's like Adam Sandler doing a Holocaust movie. No, he makes dumb movies, but he doesn't make dumb mistakes. They're calculated. They know the audience. They know what they are. Twilight, you're shit. Stay to shit. Stay to manipulating girls in their little fairy tale land. You're bringing this in. Abortion! You're bringing abortion into this. And my phone is ringing. I don't care. I'm not going to answer it. I don't care who it is at all. No, I have to finish this. We end with, you know, like a C-section. That's great. Again, just adding to the fairy tale aspect, happily ever after. You know, and it's really, without showing too much, I think they show quite a bit for a PG-13, it's really grisly, and they have these sound effects, and they have the blood splurting, her going, and, you know, and these crunching sound effects, and, you know, the knife, and, you know, from her point of view, of them doing it, her going, and you're really doing this. You're doing this. I just felt despicable watching it. I just felt dirty watching this movie. I was ashamed to be in that theater watching this, thinking that this movie had any brains at all. I thought it had some brains, you know. I thought because it knew how to manipulate, you know, the young female demographic. It did very well and very profitable. But this is a whole new area. And if you're going to talk about, you better do your fucking homework. You better have some idea what you're talking about. And Twilight obviously doesn't. And it shows in this movie.